You are listening to the Law Enforcement Pirate Radio Network. Radio Free Larry presiding.
You can run, but you can't hide.
Radio Free Larry.
All right. This thing that's going on in the nation, I'll adjust my microphone there. This thing that's going on in the nation is a calculated effort by criminals in government. Now, what do I mean by that? Are they moving these things physically? Not all of it. Some of it is spiritually caused, one by their actions, two by their will. And they see that this is a witches' devil season. They might say, Jesus and God are ruling the people. What's really going on is you have Devin Chauvins in waiting everywhere in the government and police department. 100%, that's what the deep state is. They're psychological murderers. So there's these outcomes of what they're doing. They're telling you, I'm investigating somebody, and they're watching for certain things like an injury, financial hardship, places where people have been pulled out either insane or committing suicide, such as these temporary lodging places, or where people just up and leave and all of their belongings get thrown in the trash. This is your government, nothing else. The rest is a cover for this type of activity that I'm speaking about. They are not honorable people. They are not okay. Now, one or two might not engage in it here or there, but that's not the reality of your government. Tyler, Texas desires people to be addicted to prescription drugs for whatever reason. That's what they're trying to do to me today. That's one of the wills. That's who your police officers are. Don't let them tell you that they're honorable because they can save a child or save an older person or save even themselves or their coworker. The honor comes when people aren't watching and what you're doing in reality. They have these psychological methods that supposedly detect criminals, and eventually the person commits a crime. But other people were committing suicide based upon it. Other people were using narcotics based upon it. Other people were becoming immoral, maybe robbing a bank. These are the things that they're causing in your communities, and they're backed by CIA, NSA, and a private militia of psychological warfare criminals. I'll tell you right now, under President Trump, you traded one deep state for another. But the deep state's still the same. The boss has changed out. So again, enough of the BS, as they say. Does President Trump actually protect Christians? No. Why? His government will stop somebody from going to church just to save the church because he's a danger. I'll tell you right now, why are your churches in trouble and having danger if that's what they're actually doing? Because it's not the truth, it's a lie. They're actually unprotecting you, making it necessary for you to reach out to them for protection. Again, mafia, organized crime, racketeering, your government, Tyler, Texas, Smith County, Texas. That's what's going on. The rest is an illusion. Come on, wake up. Don't just say Jesus. Realize Jesus. And realize what he would tell you today if he were here. The president surrounds himself with $1 million preachers. $1 million babies. Hollywood church. Churches, not Christians. Churches. Now, can I restore from this? I don't know. It's been happening. I couldn't see even getting a salt bath to relax when it happened. I was lucky to get to one. My muscles were cinching up around everything. I need massages and everything that they say I don't need. I know what they tell you to get you to come against my massages. While they send their little girlies in there to try to sexualize me in there, and I repel them. I'm one of the strongest men on earth when it comes to that. But I've been operated by the CIA for 25 years at least. And I'll tell you today, the FBI is the CIA. That's who they are. There's no independent people. There are no people wanting to enforce law and constitution. Every one of them has a communist manifesto in their back pocket. And I'll tell you what, the majority of communists in the Soviet Union were conservative. They were not liberals. The liberals were the useful idiots, and they still are. How much more power of a criminal nature, of an anti-power nature, are they going to try to yield against you, the citizen, based upon what the liberals are doing out in the streets? They want you to beg them to come into your community and torture your neighbor. That's who they are. That's who they've been. The rest is an illusion. A satanic illusion. Don't be a deluder and deluded. Can they save you today if they want? Yes. But they'll go, yes, no. Do I want to save that person? Oh, but they're on the list handed to us by the FBI. We don't save them. They don't get to go to church. They have to try to make them commit suicide. That's your police department. Don't lie to yourselves or the street won't change. Your police department is busy running people out of church and setting up the next trap in the next church they might go to. You live in a communist nation. You better come to grips with it, and you got to realize it's also the conservatives. Or you're not going to get anywhere. You're going to have disease after disease, trouble after trouble, riot after riot. Your police department are a bunch of piece of garbage communists of a conservative nature, so it's okay because they're protecting our church membership. But you won't be in that church if some piece of garbage deputy U.S. Marshal with CIA connections says you don't. They'll say, no church. Looks too good for him. Looks too good for her. I have God. I am with God. You are with Satan. There is nothing left of the church in the United States. It's run by CIA, FBI, and if they ain't been in your church, that's because they don't have a reason to be there. And it doesn't mean that they accept you. It means they ain't been paid enough to mess your church up. Or not afraid that you have the goods on them to send them to prison. And to have the goods on them, you don't have to have the goods on them. You don't even want to have to send them to prison. You could just say, I want nothing to do with those people, and that's not enough for them. Is it U.S. Marshal Service? Is it FBI? Is it DOJ? Is it CIA, FRICO, psychological warfare, NSA, garbage? They don't care. They don't want anybody to shut up. They want people to kill. They can't stand it when they can't kill someone. Psychological murder is rife in this nation, and so was it in the Soviet Union, so was it in China, and so is it. No difference between Vladimir Putin and the government of this nation. No difference between Xi and the government of this nation, except they do it psychologically here. They want to do it physically. That's why Devin Chauvin wasn't wrong, because there's a criminal history in that guy. How do we know who that guy was when he was 18 years old or 15 years old? How many times did your police drive around him and curse him because he's a black so-and-so? No, President Trump surrounds himself with the $1 million baby African Americans. You know what? They once had some glamour, but now Now go eat your cheeseburger somewhere else, Terrence. Go eat your cheeseburger somewhere else. I know the truth of what's happening to African Americans and how they're cursed down by people in positions of power. Read Ephesians. Read the Bible. Don't just say, I go to church. I tithed. I paid my dues. But go ahead and take that person out of church because you okay, policeman, because you told us he's a bad person. Y'all better wake up. I recommend no violence. I do not condone violence. I tell you, don't pray for those that have committed the sin unto death, and I'll tell you they have. And that's what the Bible tells you. Do not engage in any violence. I will not engage in violence. Nobody engage in violence. Wait on the Lord. The Lord will take vengeance all day long on these people. And then one day, he'll send them straight to hell. Make this place look like a picnic. And their hell on earth like a picnic. You know what they tell do to me? Give him hell. F him. To them, that's real. That's a satanic command, a witch's coven. Your FBI group's a witch's coven. Your police department's a witch's coven. Wheeling up hell, and wheeling up crime, and wheeling up drug use. Wheeling up COVID-19. It's a dream for these people. People sitting at CIA and NSA all protected going, now we can mess with everyone. And they have help of foreign spies to do it to our people. They don't care. Nobody's going to stop them, all of you. They are the leadership, the advanced investigators. Oh, that's a secret group. Nobody gets to know what they do. Oh, but I'll tell you, they've stopped so many criminals. They said that person was a criminal, and they turned out to be a criminal. Psychological warfare, psychological torture. If you go in the way of a church, they torture you till you leave. If you go to pornography, you have the greatest life until they pick up the next thing, because then they want you to rape somebody or masturbate in public. That's your government. That's your police department. God's going to take you all to hell for allowing them to exist in that form. Come out of her. Come out of her. They are the whores of Babylon. I condone no violence. I condone no criminal behavior. But they are criminal and they are violent. Using combat psychology against your neighbor so they'll be a criminal or a pervert. Or not go to church. Or change out your preacher for them. Your preachers have been caused to fall. Your preachers have been thrown out of church. Because guess what? The falling away is going to take place. Wake up. The Bible told you that you can't fight them until it's time. And the end times is beginning. And New Jerusalem is spiritual, not some physical, geographic place that's going to burn away one day. To hell with a physical place. The kingdom of God is within you. New Jerusalem is within you. What's over there is dirty sand and defecation. They don't believe in anything decent. They don't even really know what the Torah says. All they know is me, mine. And to be me, mine, I gotta do this much charity and make myself look pretty. Again, who does President Trump support in Israel? $1 million babies. That's it. Hollywood. Hollywood Israel. Everybody, well, let's all bow to Hollywood Israel. I've been to Israel. I've been to Egypt. I was surprised to see what the Sinai looked like and who the people were in the Sinai compared to the people of Israel. Your government has fallen and is falling. Again, I condone no violence. I don't condone the violation of law. But your government is violent, and your government is violating law, and they don't need to be that to save you. We are in the middle of a devil season. That's why nothing's working. You know, President might get elected, but at what cost? Is he making deals with the devil today? Again, I don't come against any particular political party, but he's in power. And he needs to do what's right. And end the deep state. In reality, not, oh, me, my, and my buddies. Because that's what we had under Obama. Same thing. If you have, what happened is that some of these people changed out of the group. They're no longer in the wealthy people group. So they're looking to support Biden. Again, me, my, mine. I told you years ago I was supporting President Trump, but he's not going to do anything for me. And I told you most people, that's all they're looking for is to support the person who could do something for them. But he lost his way. He lost his way big. And if you're telling me winning the presidency is all that matters, then fine. You can speak to God if he'll speak to you one day about that. Because on Judgment Day, you'll say, I saved the church. You go, well, what about the Christian over there? You say you saved the church, you did this, you did that. Wait a minute, you just did something the other day that may cause churches lose their tax status. And I recently told you, I said, be careful of what Franklin Graham says, because they might take his tax status for what he's doing. Because if a Democrat gets in, they might do that. But you're now helping that by saying you're going to take an education system's tax status. You have to fix everything before you can do anything. Or it's an illusion. You know, people are looking, you throw black people at them, they're living such charmed lives. They're like, that's not black, that's whatever. That's political class. You don't have color when you have political class. But you can do whatever you want to anybody and violate their civil rights if you're quote unquote political class. Remember, this place is going to pass away one day. Many of you are going to be absent in the body, present in hell. Because that's what you chose to do to other people. No matter what excuse, no matter what delusion you use to motivate yourselves. Praise God in all that you do.